Well, hello, welcome back. We are making a bike. In case you missed it, that's what we're doing, right? So, a short wrap up. We are making one of these. This one. This is a recumbent tricycle, a recumbent bicycle, which we are planning to build. That is the idea. At the moment, we are building the rear fork, like this one. Right. You haven't missed much. So far, what we've done is I've explained a bunch of stuff. I did a lot of talking. And very little actual handiwork. So what we've done last episode, was that we cut all the steel. So we cut the pipes. There was lots of adventures of me trying to figure out how the hell everything works, which is the fun bit of this whole exercise. And what we've done now is we've cut all the bits to length that we need in order to build this rear fork, right? So. What we're going to do today is we are going to start welding. Right, we're actually going to grab all these things and connect them together, hopefully, so that they stick and they don't break. Right, so I have no idea how to do any welding stuff. So yeah. So why don't you tag along and we'll be seeing you over at Makerspace. Right, over to you, Simon, at Makerspace. All right. Day 2 when the Makerspace thing. This is what I did last time. Right, these are supposed to be the back forks. Like these two together. They're going to be like this in the back, holding up the back wheel. Now, one of the things I did different is that, as you can see, I made like a round, kind of smooth kind of thing, and that is purely for aesthetic reasons. But the idea is I'm going to put these things, small little plates here. I'm gonna put these on top here like that, right? Weld them into place, and then, or probably just like bend them first. Made a little cut, made a little calculation how long that's gonna be. Made a little cut. It's gonna be bended, and then I'll weld it shut, right? So the reason why we're closing the end bits is not only because of rust. We don't want to have rust in the end. You don't want to have, like, it's pretty hard to paint inside of these kind of things. That's one, and the second one is for structural rigidity, right? If you close this off, it becomes more, well, I mean, I can't really try and bend it now, but it becomes more sturdy, right? Your whole frame is going to be more sturdy. So we're going to do that over the whole bike, close up all these things, right? That's what we're going to do. Now, in preparation of this project, what I've done is I actually took a course in welding, like a very beginner's sort of introduction noob course, as they call it, in a weird sort of backyard, industrial, shady area on the edge of the big city. But it was super fun. It was very interesting. What I've learned is that there's different types of welding. You don't just weld. You need to know which kind of welding you need, right? Some welding is very hard, others is very easy, others is very old, other welding types are very sort of newly developed and therefore more refined, right? So it's all depending on what you want, what kind of metal you're gonna work with, and how good and skilled the metal worker is, right? Not very skilled. So it's fine, let's play with that. So in Makerspace itself, Makerspace, they have a wall. They have the infamous wall full of metal cutting and welding equipment, right? So why don't we have a look at what is available? Over to the Makerspace. Over to the Makerspace. So here we have the famous wall, welding safety stuff. Now there's 3 things which they have here. They have up here, as you can see, plasma cutter. I'm not going to need that. That's all right. Then we have here the TIG welder. As you can see, it says TIG Advanced. I can't do that. That's tricky stuff. That's next level stuff. And then good thing that for the idiots, they have this, which is a MIG welder, right? It doesn't have a lot of buttons, 1, 2, and then I guess 3, and an on and off button there, which is nice. Yeah, so here, follow this cable. It's going to come out here on the head, and that would be this kid. Also a simple kind of thing. 1 button really, which does this, and then in here, if you look, you can see there's a tiny little plug, there you go, sticking out. Now that plug is going to be feeding, it's a whole roll of some kind of metal wire,
which is actually inside there, which is going to be pushed through the cable. That's why it's such a thick cable here, right? It's going to be pushed through the cable. It's going to be fed into the weld, right? So, and then because it is actually, we use gas, there's two things here. You have MIG-MAG and you have TIG. However, this situation isn't special. So I'm gonna go back to the MIG-MAG, would be this one, right? So let's see if we can activate it with this specialized little lever. There we go. So now we have gas, which is good. And the pump gas in there. What I need to do now, I believe, is I need to clamp it. So I need to find wherever this clamp is. So the earth is actually on the table, which will be connected, as you see here, with the piece I'm going to weld. Right. So yeah, that's welding basics, basically.
All right, let's get to it, shall we? Let's start this welding. Now if you look, what I'm doing is I am doing something which is called pulse welding, right? It's a very on-off kind of thing that I'm doing, right? It's that's dependent, there's different styles of how to do it. But what I'm doing is, what I'm trying to do is not burn holes in my metal, right? It's pretty thin metal. So if I keep the welder on for a long time, it's gonna melt and the whole thing is gonna be right there. It's gonna be ruined. So what I'm doing, I'm trying it out, seeing if it's gonna work, right? And of course, strategically, I chose to start welding with the least important bits of the bicycle. It's basically closing off the ends of the pipe in order to get a little bit more rigidity out of the frame, and also in order to avoid having to rust protect the inside of the frame. Alright, let's see if I can show you my beautiful jig which I built. I think it's called a jig, maybe? But I built a beautiful thing in order to keep the back frame sort of into the correct place. Right, let's have a look. I'm gonna flip the camera. Here you go. So that's roughly that. This will be the frame. And what's very important is, as it can say here, come on camera, focus on this here. Right, anywho, this camera is fucking crap. So that's the top. And the crucial bit is this. The idea is that I put this in here for the correct length. Right, so which should be that. I can probably bring it a little bit closer. So I can actually jam it in there. Look, boop. Magic, right? And then my other jam, which is this is the bottom, under here. Right, so that should be roughly that. I clamped some things into place, and I'm gonna weld this side, and then also this side at the side. Right, so that'd be that. But I'm doing these ones first, and then I gotta do the insides, which are a bit annoying. Oh, I'm gonna do a tack weld on this here to just hold it into place. Right, because thermal deformation is going to be big on this, and I don't want that. Okay, cool. Let's try, shall we? Let's try. I have no idea what I'm doing, really. Good fun. we've done it. We have successfully made a thing. Now, whether or not this thing is any good, only time will tell, right? So let's worry about that when we get there. I'm sure it'll be brilliant in every single way. So what's up next? Well, what we need to do is we need to build something to hold the wheel in place. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be milling the rear cutouts, right? What that is and how we're gonna do that, I'm gonna explain you in the next video. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time.